Welcome to our channel. From now onwards, we will discuss some of the MCQ questions that are mainly asked in different and MNC companies. And today's the first question is, we are declaring a main. In this, I am declaring a variable int a. Whenever we are declaring a variable, what happens? Some memory is allocated with reference to name a. And we are writing is equal to opening bracket. So whenever opening bracket occurs until closing bracket, that is considered as an expression. So first, the value of 1 is assigned to a. Yes, the a value is 1, comma. Next, the closing occur? No. So 2 is assigned to a. But a variable can store only a single value. That means what happens? 2 overrides a. Now, 3. Same scenario. 3 overrides 2. Finally, 4. 4 overrides 3. And closing bracket occur. Whenever closing bracket occur, stop the procedure. Now, what is the a value? At last, the a value is equal to 4. Okay. This is the first program. Now, second one, a small difference. Instead of brackets, in the first example, I am using the parenthesis here, but in this example, I am ignore the parenthesis. What happens? Int a is equal to 1. Up to now, this is a valid, this is a perfect statement. The value 1 is assigned to a, but here 2. What is a variable declaration? We are declaring a variable like this: data type, name of the variables. If you have more than one variable, separated with comma. What is the rule? What are the rules? An identifier does not begin with a digit. An identifier does not begin with a digit. So system considered these two as a variable name. You got the point? Why? Because this is at the time of declaration. If it is at the time of declaration, one is assigned to a. This is one variable like this. Int a is equal to 3, comma b is equal to 4. This is another variable, but 2 is considered as a variable. But the variable name does not begin with a digit. So what is the output of the program? The output is compile time error. The output is an error simply. Okay. Now, the same example, a little modification. In the first step, I am declaring the variable. In the next step, I am performing initialization. So, in this case, 2 is not considered as a variable. Why? This is after declaration. Now, the value of 1 is assigned to a, comma. Once we are using comma means this expression is completed and we are moving to some other value. So, simply ignore this one. Simply ignore this one. So, more than one values are separated with comma. So, value 1 is assigned to a. So, what is the value of a? The value of a is 1. Observe the differences between the three examples. If you are using parentheses, for example, a is equal to 5, b is equal to plus a, comma plus a. Blindly remember. So b is equal to not the last bracket. That is not the last answer. Compulsory first performs this statement and then this statement. So b value is 7, not 6. Okay, compulsory we are moving from left to parenthesis, assign the first value and then assign the second value and then assign the third value and so on until closing parenthesis occurred. You got it? Now, hash define a10. So everyone knows simply this is a macro, or in another way, for defining constants also we are using hash define. For defining constants or simply this is a macro. What is the meaning of this one? Whenever a occurred, a is replaced with a value 10. Okay. In the main, what I am doing? CONST. This is the keyword used to represent a constant. keyword to represent a constant. Int a is equal to 5. That means I am assigning a value 5 to a. But what happens whenever you are writing this statement on this a, 10 is stored. By writing this statement, the meaning is we are changing the value of a macro. It is not possible. Okay. Once we define a macro, it is not possible to change the value. Even though if you are not using constant, for example, if you are using like this, int a is equal to 5, it also gives an error. Why? Already the a value is 10. Now we are trying to modify a value as 5. And even if you just to declare without any initialization, if you just to declare int a, it also gives an error. It also gives an error. That is, once we define a macro, no need to declare the variable. That is, whether it is a variable or a constant or initialization, anything, no need to declare. So what is the answer? The answer is simply error. The answer is simply error. Okay. Now, I am declaring two variable x and y, and the initialization is also performed. X is equal to 10, y is equal to 15. In the printf statement, how many percentage Ds we have? We have only 1%. Then how many values are printed? Only one value. So the value that are placed after comma, right? But after comma, we have x comma y. So already discussed. What is the happen? If you are writing x comma y means you observe first to x is printed and then y is printed not. If you have an expression in the printf statement, the y value is printed. That is the value that is nearest to the closed parenthesis. So 10 to 15. So what is the last value? The last value 15. So 15 is printed on the screen. So output of this program is 15. A simple examples. So in the first session, we will discuss with the basic examples. Now, into main, in the printf statement, percentage d, comma, printf high. What happens? Actually, if you are writing like this, printf percentage d, comma a. Whatever the value present here, this is copied into this one. That is the value present here is printed. Similarly, the percentage d is replaced with this one. First, that means first this statement is executed. Or if you are writing like this a plus b, what happens? First a plus b is executed and then result is assigned. Similarly, first printf statement is executed. Whenever printf statement is executed, high is printed on the screen. Already high is printed on the screen. Now, percentage d is used for integer, but what about printf? This is the very important. Printf function returns an integer value. Remember, generally each and every function has some return value. Even though whether it is a void also, it has to return some value. Printf, it is a predefined function. It returns an integer value. What is that value? How many number of characters it prints? How many number of characters it prints? How many number of characters? 1, 2, 3. So simply after execution of this statement, this is replaced with 3. You got it? After high, after printing of high, this every function is replaced with the return value. The return value is the number of characters 3. So what is the statement now? Percentage d comma 3. Percentage d comma 3. So the value 3 is printed on the screen. So the output is high 3. For example, if you have a string welcome, what is the output? Welcome contains 7 characters. The output is welcome 7, like this. This is printf. So printf returns an integer value. How to remember that point? Now, a simple example, char small a is equal to character a. What is the meaning of this one? This is a variable. This is a value. Don't confuse it. Small a is a variable. Capital A is simply a value assigned to that particular variable. So here percentage t means The answer must be a character. So here what is small a? Small a is a character or a variable? Small a is the variable. So what is the statement meaning? Capital A plus 32. You got it? Small a. Suppose if a is equal to 5, a plus 5 means what is a is replaced with this value. Similarly, here a is replaced with capital A. So capital A plus 32. Is it possible? Yes. If you want to perform addition between a character and an integer or between two characters, each and every character has some ASCII value. So what is the ASCII value for capital A? 65. So what is answer? 65 plus 32, that is 97. Here if you are using, instead of percentage C, if you are using percentage D, the output is 97. But here you are using percentage C. What is the percentage C? Character. So what is the character that corresponds to 97? So for small a, the value is 97. So what is the answer? The answer is small a. Here this a is character a, not this a. This a is character a, not this a. You got it? Now move to one more example. Char a of 50. I am reading a character array. Character array in the sense simply just I am declaring, sorry, not reading, just I am declaring a string. Now in the printf statement, I am writing like this: printf percentage d, comma, scan of percentages a. First, which statement executed? Generally, you know, the inner statement is executed first. So the first scan of statement is executed. Whenever scan of statement is executed, system asks to enter a string. Generally, system asks to enter a string. For example, if you are entering a string hello, if you entered a string hello, okay, so is it printed on the screen? No, this is input. In the previous example, here you are writing printf. That is the reason hello is printed on the screen. But in this case, this is input. It is not printed on the screen. But what scanf returns? The scanf returns how many number of variables it reads, or how many number of strings it reads, like that. How many number? HELLO, it is not 5. Simply this is a string. This is a single string. So output of scanf is, it reads only one variable, that is hello. Here the scanf is replaced with 1. What is the output? Output is 1. For example, if you have scanf percentage D, ampersand A, comma, ampersand B. If you are writing this statement, now how many number of variables you are reading? You are reading 2 variables. So the output is 2 in this case. You got it? Hello means not 5. This entire thing is considered as a single variable. Entire thing is considered as a single variable, that is input. But coming to output, it returns the number of characters it prints. It returns the number of characters it brings. Now, percentage D, 10 question mark, 0 question mark, 5 colon, 1 colon, 12. So everyone know this is conditional operator or ternary operator. So what we are doing, simply before question mark, we are writing the condition. Here we are writing the condition. Between question mark and colon, we are writing true block. That is, if the condition is true, we are executing the set of statements. Suppose if the condition is false, we are executing the statement after colon. Now, but this is nested conditional. That is, one conditional operator is enclosed within another. Suppose if you have a large expression, how do you solve this one? Simply, first to see this one, 10 question mark. Okay, whenever this occurred, observe the last colon. What is the last colon? This is the last colon. So here 10 is the condition. This is this until last colon. This is true block. This 12 is false block. You got it? You have to remember the last colon. Always you have to observe the last colon. Okay. Now 10 is a non-zero number. Non-zero number means true. If true means we are moving into this block. In this true block, again, 0 is the condition. Question mark 5. If the condition is true, the answer is 5. If the condition is false, the answer is 1. So 0 means false. 0 means false. False means what is the answer? The answer is 1. You got the point? So you have to remember how many number of expressions you are written. That is not a matter. You have to consider the first question mark and the last colon. This entire is true block. Suppose again we have many number of blocks also. In the later sessions we will discuss the complicated examples also. This is the first session. We will move with the simple examples. Now, one more statement. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 4. Next, what is the statement? RES is equal to. So, I am declaring a variable RES and is initialized with this value. How it is executed? This is the logical end operator. What is the logical end operator? Logical end operator means if both the expressions are true, then the result is true. If at least one expression is false, the result is false. And along with, we have one more property. The main property of logical end operation is if the first expression is true, then only we are evaluating the second expression. Suppose if the first expression is false, then no need to check the second expression. Why? If the first expression is false, whether the second expression is true or false, whether the second expression is true or false, what is the answer? Answer is always false. So to simplify the process, first it checks the first expression. If it is true, then only the second expression is evaluated. If it is false, the second expression is not evaluated. What is the result? The result of logical operators is either true or false. Generally, 2 is printed as 1, false is printed as 0. Now observe, A is equal to B. That means 10 is equal to 4. Condition true or false? The condition is false. If the condition is false means this second part is not executed. Second part is not executed. Blindly, the answer is 0. False means 0. RES is assigned with a value 0. What is the output? The output is 0. Okay. Consider same example with a slight modification. This one. Instead of A is equal to B, here I am writing A not equal to B. So 10 not equal to 4. Yes, this is true. Here the condition is true. Then only I am moving into the second expression. So what is the second expression? Printf welcome. What happens? Whenever we are writing a printf statement, simply the answer is printed. So welcome is printed. We already discussed what is the return of printf. How many number of characters it prints? So how many number of characters? 7. So this entire statement is replaced with 7. So actually 7 is a non-zero number. Non-zero number means true. So automatically this is true. You got it? 7 is a non-zero number. Non-zero number means true. So true and true. What is the answer? Answer is 1. So 1 is assigned to RES. So RES value is 1. Welcome 1. Observe. For example, in the options you have like this. Welcome and 1 in 2 different lines. Okay. But this is the answer. Why? Why here we are not using any /n. Printf statement by default after completion of printf, the cursor blinks at the same line. The cursor places at the same line. If you are using /n only, we are moving into the new line. Now we have discussed logical end operation. Now the same example by using logical OR operator. What is OR operator? If at least one is true, the result is true. So in this case, exactly the same. If the first one is true, then no need to evaluate the second one. You got it? If the first two expression is true, whether the second expression is true or false. What is the answer? Answer is directly true. Suppose if the first expression is false, then only we are calculating the second expression. You got it? So see this one, A not equal to B. The condition true or false? The condition is true. So this second one is not evaluated. If the condition is true means what is the value? Value is 1. So RES value is equal to 1. So this one, and for example, here if you are writing A is equal to B, or the same statement, in this statement, what is the output? This first expression is false. If this expression is false, then we are moving into second expression. So welcome is printed on the screen and it returns 7. 7 means non-zero number. Non-zero number means true. False or true? What is the answer? True. True means 1. 1 is assigned to RES. So what is the answer? Welcome. One, you got it? So simple point in logical AND operation. If the first expression is false, second expression is not evaluated. In logical OR operator, if first expression is true, second expression is not evaluated. Okay. In the next session, we will discuss some more MCQ questions. Thank you.